Hello guys, before we get into this review once again, I just want to say I did an April Fool's joke on my second channel where I did an announcement that I won't be collabing with anybody, but collabing will happen, but it's just not going to happen this year. Collabing will happen. This was an April Fool's joke, by the way. I consider the whole month to be April Fool's joke. To me, anyway. Collabing will happen. It'll happen some point next year. For the Batman films, maybe. Or maybe something else. But that was an April Fool's joke. By the way, guys, I was only kidding, guys. But guys, I haven't got to see some movies recently because I've been working. I've been busy at work, so anyways, let's get out of the way and let's get on with this review, shall we? The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift is the first of the Justin Lin directed of the 4 in the films. This is his first one. Then 4, 5, and 6 he later directed. And this takes somewhere in the future of Fast and Furious, which takes place after 4, 5, and 6 and takes place before 7. So, yep. If you've been watching this series, you'll know that. And you have a different members of casting, and yeah, there's not really much of the same people, but anyways, let's get into Tokyo Drift. Well, guys, sorry about that. Before we get to talk about my cons and my pros and cons, I just want to say that this is probably not going to contain too much spoilers, but there are going to be some, just to let you know. If you don't want to watch this, then get off now. So, anyways, let's get on with this, shall we? Alrighty, since there's not much to talk about the pros, let's start with the pros first. Cinematography is great. I love how Japan looks and everything. Everything looks well shot, and the camera work isn't too bad. This is where we start to get into the modern Fast and Furious films, since this is the first one directed by Justin Lin. And let's see. Oh yes, every drift scene I like was pretty good. I like the drift scenes. They were fun. The drift scenes were pretty entertaining to watch, especially towards the end where, spoiler alert, where Han dies, who, by the way, is probably the best character in the film, probably. I like this character pretty much. Yeah, he isn't in this film series that much, but he's a fine character overall. He's not one of the best, but he's probably the one that I care the most, actually. The drift scenes and the ending's really good, where it shows Vin Diesel at the end and as Dominic Duna and Shane Boswell, who's played by this guy give me a minute. Who's played by Lucas Black, and then they start to go off, and which is the end of the film. And yeah, that's all I've got to say, really. Okay, guys, now we're on to the cons. First of all, Lucas Black, who's one of my least favorite characters in this series. I don't know, he's just not shown much. He hasn't been developed that much better, probably. His father as well, who's barely in it much, and I don't know, I just didn't feel connected with any of these characters, like all the main characters in general. The main characters I just didn't feel like were, they weren't really developed better, to be honest. Yeah, especially Lucas Black, who I didn't feel was developed very much. His accent sounded pretty weird, and yeah, and this movie's pretty boring in some places. It feels like a drama in some places, and I'm not a fan of drama films unless if it's a really popular film. But yeah, not much happens. This or the fourth one is either the worst ones for like its drama moments somewhere, which not a fan. The acting isn't great at all. The acting isn't that great at all, to be honest. I just didn't feel the acting as well is one of the biggest points where I didn't feel like it's not really. Oh, I don't know what to say, because this is probably this and 4 are the most forgettable ones in this series. They're so forgettable. Yes, we'll talk about that some point next, continuing my series. So overall, guys, well, that Tokyo Drift may have some cool drift scenes, some great photography, and the ending's pretty damn good. The acting, some boring scenes, just lacked it down. There wasn't really much that I could find enjoyment of. I don't know. It's not really. I mean, I'm not a hater on this series. Don't get me wrong. Of course, I'm not. Like, I know a lot of people say this series has got really dumb titles. Like, they're like different titles. Yeah, some films can do that. It's not a problem. But this series has a little some. I know in the UK it has better titles than it does in America, but yeah. Overall, guys, on my rating scale, I'm going to give The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. I'm trying to give it a 4 or 5. 5, yeah. Simply because the drift scenes are great. The photography is good. The ending's pretty good. Well, they're all pretty good, what I just mentioned. It's just the acting and the boring scenes just let it down for me. I know there's people who like this film, and good for them. Alrighty guys, that was my review on the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, which was the 3rd one in this series. Comment down below, let me know what your favourite scene or your favourite thing about this, or what your favourite in this series so far, from the first one to this one, Tokyo Drift. Let me know below, and I'll do a ranking list on Letterboxd whenever I get to see all of the whenever I get to see Fate of the Furious. But look forward to my next review in this series, which will be Fast and Furious, which is the 4th one in the series. It's my next film in the series to review. So, alright, you guys, comment, like, and subscribe. All the social media links, description below. And as always, I will see you guys next time, and peace.